great to see you again. A lot of conversation here about artificial intelligence and data, and I'm hearing that discussion linked together more tightly than I think I ever have before. What's driving that, and what's the long-term benefit to the Department of the Navy, Marine Corps, but more broadly to the national defense, national security community?
So the big things that we're seeing, and especially in the Navy right now, is AI is being implemented and data meshes are being woven together so that you can actually do many things. So on the IT side, for example, AI can help pre-position data to where it needs to be inside, whether it's on a ship or on in a port. Knowing how to tier that information from an IT perspective is very important. So the other thing we're seeing is around OT and IoT. That's kind of the really cool area that AI is playing a big role. So again, going back to all the data that you're ingesting from all the sensors, whether it's a nuclear reactor on a submarine or the inventory systems on ships, being able to ingest that data and understand it, and then being able to do things like predictive maintenance, bring a ship in, instead of doing emergent repair, being able to do it when you know you're not in battle and you can fix the system really quickly. Those are the things that are going to save the Navy a ton of money. And then from a human perspective, the interaction with data and intelligent chatbots, those things are really cool right now. So from a training perspective and getting sailors and different sea forces trained up on their platforms, being able to interact with intelligent chatbots is a huge differentiator right now. We're seeing, we just were over yesterday at the 5G smart warehouse that we're working on with AT&T, for example, and being able to know what the inventory is down to the bolt that's in inventory at a warehouse, and know when it's being delivered or a part's being delivered to an airfield or a carrier, right? Being able to understand where things are in the supply chain very quickly is something that AI and creating these massive data meshes that go across an entire service and then up to the joint level is important, because a lot of these platforms share components or share common parts that they can utilize throughout the entire service.
A lot of the uniform folks that I talk to at events like this, year after year after year after year, say they come here to interact with industry and understand what's coming, what's over the horizon. What are you telling folks like that as they talk to you? What is over the horizon for folks that maybe is not something they need to think about today, but 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now should be on their minds?
So, two areas. So the big things that we're seeing are creating data frameworks and understanding where your data is. So that's something that is starting to move forward. And I think within 5 years, it's going to create a huge difference for the armed services. Understanding where your data is and being able to access it quickly, especially in contested areas that we're predicting right in the next 5 years. That's very important to know, because if you don't know where your data resides or you don't have the right data at the right time, right, then the commander can't make the right decision. Mm-hmm. So those are the things I see that are going to make a huge impact. From a edge environment, I think the big things that you're going to see is intelligent edge devices that, instead of just gathering sensor data, they're actually ingesting the data from all sorts of different sources. So that could be video, that could be radar data, et cetera. And being able to do the analysis at the edge, that's going to be really key. Because right now, you have GEO satellites, you have LEO satellites, and you have to send all that raw data back up and over. And that's terabytes and terabytes and petabytes of data. Mm-hmm. Being able to process and use AI like an analyst would look at that data at the edge and allow commanders in the field to make decisions based on that first pass of data is key. And I see that being a big game changer for our U.S. servicemen and women.
Phil, it's always great to talk to you. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Francis.